First things first, if you are a CDL driver and you want to come work for JB Hunt, I encourage you to send me your name, your phone number, and your zip code. My email is moses@driversuccess.com. I will give your information to Susan. Susan is the recruiter that I work with. She's so good at what she does. So I'll give her your information and she will call you and let you know what's available in your area. Now, even if you are just new out of training, JB Hunt has started a program. It's starting a program where they are training new truck drivers. So even if you're just out of training, just send me your information. Now, it depends on what location you are in. Susan will give you all the details. But whether you have experience or you don't have experience, if you want to come on with JB Hunt, then I encourage you to send me your information, and then Susan will give you a call and get you placed as soon as possible. Hey, what's up, friends? It's Moses. I hope and pray that you guys are doing well. You remember in one of the videos, maybe like a couple of weeks, I don't remember which one exactly, where I told you about the challenge I was having with my tablet. It looks like it's not connected to the engine, and so because of that, I have to manually go in and change my status. You know, like it should be doing it automatically, but you see right now I've stopped, but it's showing me as still being driving. So I have to go in and just change it to show that I'm right here, and then I have to fill in this information. Because if I don't do that, it will leave me on whatever status I am. If like right now I'm not driving, it leaves me on driving instead of doing it automatically. When I came in on Friday, it was working well. On Saturday, when I started my shift, it wasn't doing anything. So I called the tech support, and the guy told me that he's gonna talk to the shop so that the shop can be able to fix it, because I think it has to do with maybe a connection to the truck. So hopefully either tonight or tomorrow they'll be able to fix it. I was looking at that and I was laughing. It's funny how somebody decided to put a seal there. You know, sometimes when this thing is covered, we put seals right here to make sure that it doesn't open. So I don't know if this guy was just being funny, because he put the bills in there nicely in a bag. They are safe, but then he or she decides to put a seal on there. Maybe he's just trying to be funny. If that was the goal, then it worked. I'm heading to Sulphur Springs. Then from Sulphur Springs, I'm gonna go to, where am I going? I'm going to pick up from Camp Bells, which is out of Paris. So I'm gonna go to Sulphur Springs, head to Paris, and then bring it back to Hasvet. So this is gonna be a live unload, and then the one I'm picking up is just a drop and hook. Drop my empty, pick up my load. Like I want to use the restroom just so that pilot's right there. I was thinking of stopping, but I don't like the hassle of, like getting off and then going all the way. You have to go that side, and then, I'm gonna try and hold it until I get to the rest stop. Yay! There's the rest area. I feel better, so let's get out of here. We made it to the beautiful city of Sulphur Springs. I'm a husband and I'm a father. And as a father, one of the things I really want to do is to be a good dad. And one of the things that I struggle with is sometimes I feel like I'm not the kind of dad that I want to be. There are times that maybe like my kids may do something and I end up shouting at them, or, you know, like being tough on them. There are times when I feel like I didn't have to shout, or there are times when I feel like I think I've been tough on them, especially since they are girls. They are girls, they are still very young. There are times when I feel like I'm being tough on them, or I haven't responded the way a good dad should respond. And these are things that I struggle with in my mind, you know, like trying to figure out how do I become a good dad. And it's not the responsibility of my children to make me a good dad. I am the one as a dad who is supposed to figure that out. It's not my children that are supposed to help me become a good dad. So even though they may do things that may make me angry and I end up shouting at them, it's not their responsibility to figure out how not to do those things. It is my responsibility to figure out how to control myself and not shout at them, but just gently talk to them. So that's a struggle I have with. Even when it comes to my wife, one of the things I want is to be the best husband there is to my wife. I am the only husband she has, so I need to be the best husband that she will ever know. She has to come to that place where she knows that, wow, husbands are really good. It's good to have a husband. But again, the challenge is not knowing how to be a good husband. I feel like sometimes I don't know how to love her, because it's one thing for me wanting to show her that I love her, and it's another thing for her accepting that love. In other words, am I speaking her love language? Because I may do something thinking that it's going to show her that I love her, and yet she sees it and she doesn't look at it as something that I'm showing her that I love her. So how I show my love to her is different than how she perceives what I do. And again, it's not her responsibility to show me how to love her. It's my responsibility to figure that thing out, to figure out how do I love her, how does she understand the things, how does she interpret the things that I do. Do the things that I do show my love to her, or are they things that I think are showing love but are not actually showing love? These are things that I have to pray over, things where I seek advice from those that have gone ahead of me. It may be through books or listening to other people. But again, the whole point I'm making here is it is my responsibility. It's not my wife's responsibility. It's not my children's responsibility. It is my responsibility. The reason I'm bringing this up is to encourage those of you that are in training right now, whether you are in trucking school or you are in training. One of the things that I hear a lot from students is how, like the instructors or the trainers shout at them, and they make them feel like that the students sometimes feel like they are small because they feel like maybe they are not getting it because of the way the instructors and the trainers sometimes behave. And my encouragement to you as a student is that I want you to remember that we all start from there. These trainers, some of them, they don't know how to train, because like in trucking, they are always looking for trainers. And so just because somebody has experience, when they say they want to train, they will give them that position. And they never train trainers on how to train. For most of the time, the reason why people are trainers is because they have experience. So as long as you have experience and they know that you do a good job driving your truck, so they when you say you want to become a trainer, they will give you that position as a trainer. And so most of them, I actually don't know if there's any company that puts trainers through training to train them. I'm not sure if we do here at JB Hunt or any other company does, where they have to teach them how to relate with people. Because again, it's going to come back to the heart. If you don't have that heart of training, it's very hard for you to train people. So Most of the trainers you see out there train because they have experience. Now, just because they have experience doesn't make them good trainers. So one of the things you have to understand, I know it should be their responsibility to learn how to train, to learn how to deal with students, to learn how to be patient, but it happens that that's not the way it is. So just like there's no school to train me to become a husband, or there's no school to train me to become a good dad, trainers do not have a training program where they teach them, like how to deal with people. And so they are just using their experiences. So when you hear a trainer shouting at you and making you feel small, I want you to learn, again, I know it's not your fault, but learn to control yourself as a student. Now it's going to fall back to you to just learn how to look at that trainer and realize they may not know what to do. They may not know how to train. So try and put yourself in a mind frame where you are picking up the nuggets that you think will help you do better in your training as they train you. I know I will say 98% of the time is the fault of the trainer, because the trainer is the one who should figure out ways of how to develop the student. Again, I'm going to say here 98% because I know there's a 2% where it's just the student who, there are some students who may feel like they know it, or they feel like their way of doing it is better. But I'm saying 98% of the time it's going to be the trainers who don't know how to train. So you as a student, you have to learn. If the trainer doesn't know how to train, then you as a student try and learn to be a good student. And being a good student, I'm saying, don't let the trainer get to your head, because if he or she gets to your head, it's going to be hard for you to learn, because you're going to be always you're going to be hearing that voice whereby maybe he's telling you, oh, you're doing it wrong, or shouting at you. So you have to learn how to control your emotions, because if your emotions are like out of place and he or she is getting to your head, it's going to be hard for you to learn. So it's going to be now your responsibility as a student to learn how to keep your cool and realize that this is just for a time. Soon or later, you are going to get out of that training program. So I know it may be hard. If there's a way for you to ask for a different trainer, try and see if you can ask for a different trainer. But if you have no option, just hang in there and do your best to listen and try and figure out the nuggets you can get from him or her, without you letting him or her get to your head and letting your emotions, get out of control. Yes, it's going to be hard. But again, look at your goal and realize that most of us have gone through that. I did go through that, where I had 2 trainers when I was in CDL training, that I had the option at least to ask for those trainers to be changed. The first part of the program, I had a trainer. I tried to hang out with him, and I think I was with him maybe like for almost 3 weeks, and then I just got to a point where I felt like, you know what, I'm going to ask for another trainer. So I asked for another trainer. I got a better trainer. And then for the second phase of the program, I realized right away after one day being on the track that I couldn't handle that trainer. So I asked for a change right away, and they gave me another trainer that was able to complete my program. So if you have the option of getting another trainer, try and see if there's another trainer that could help you out. If not, just realize that it's just a matter of time. Just be patient. Try as much as possible to keep your calm. Learn as much as you can. And I promise you, these too will pass. But don't let them get on your mind. Just like I used the example of being a dad and being a husband, I want you to know that trainers do not have they are not trained on how to become trainer. The only reason most of them are in training is because they have experience. And just because you have experience doesn't mean you know how to train or how to teach. Training and teaching is a skill of its own. You need to be patient. So if they are not patient with you, you be patient with them. Try and figure out how to keep your calm and be patient with them. I promise you, this too will come to pass. You will go through that training. Just keep on focusing on your goal. Don't give up. I promise you that time will pass. To those of you that may be watching this and are trainers, I just want to encourage you to learn how to be patient. Remember where you came from too. Learn people's skills. Learn to be patient. Learn. Let it be a way of you to sharpen your skills and figure out ways. How do you become a better trainer? How do you learn to deal with different kinds of people? I know it can be hard to train some people, but again, as a trainer, it is your responsibility. You want to be the one who has that responsibility of figuring out ways of making your student successful. So don't let it fall on your student. You as a trainer, figure out how do you make your student successful. I'm done with my unloading. I just want to stop here and
in 500 feet, arrive at Pilot Flying J on the left.
I want to stop by here and fill up my truck. Because I have less than half a tank. So I'm just gonna fill up right here and then I head to Paris. This place is always full. Thankfully, there is a spot right here.